In just 5 days time, I would have been playing Sorare for 3 years. So of course, we've seen some major booms, some major busts, and plenty of DMPs. But the real question is, did I make or lose money in that time on Sorare? Well, let's see. Welcome to My Sorare Journey, episode 77. Just quickly to start then, I'm going to show you how I got my calculation. So if you want to do it at home, you can follow the same process. Or if you want to check my workings, or maybe I've missed something and you can let me know. And at the same time, this is all unrealized. I haven't sold my gallery, so take these numbers with definitely a pinch of salt and don't use it as advice or anything like that. If you go onto the Sorare website, you can see at the top all of your balances. Just click any of those and it'll bring up My Sorare wallet. Under here has all of your recent activity, and from what I can see, it goes back to the start of time, and if you deposit in ETH, it gives you an equivalent value in your local currency at that time. So what I did was copy that into a spreadsheet, and then if you click on the data, you can then split text to column, and then you can click the pound symbol and it will essentially export all of the numbers. Then from there, you can do a count if to see make sure you found all of your withdrawals. So I've done, 24 withdrawals, 47 deposits, and I got 2 withdrawal fees because recently they introduced a cash wallet, which I wanted to test. From then, you can just do sum if, so that will sum the column, and then it will tell you, if you're looking for a withdrawal fee or a withdrawal and a deposit. Then you sum both columns and just make sure that everything is included in there. I had to juggle a few things around. And that summed up as follows, with a total deposit of £9,961 and withdrawals of £3,200. Now the withdrawals are for different reasons. Sometimes I lost confidence in the platform. Sometimes I just needed to move money to different places. So that overall ends up with a net deposit of £6,700. Then I went to Sorare data and grabbed my total roster value, which is essentially your entire squad or gallery value. Now, some of these players are undervalued, some of these players are overvalued. For example, Declan Rice, £524. That's going to be his probably new season card, exactly. Then you have, say, Van der Voort, £400, whereas his last sale was actually in the realm of £515, and I've got a new season. So what I'm saying is these numbers aren't perfect. If you had to sell the gallery today, you're probably going to take a 20 to 30% haircut. If you're selling them over the next year, you'll be able to, pick your prices when someone spikes after a good score or after they've made a transfer. So everything here is very pinch of salty, but I'm taking this total value as a good estimate of my gallery value. I added that to my ETH balance and my cash balance at the minute, and that gave me an overall total profit or loss for the 3 years on Sorare. £2.93 profit, come on! But that's not the full story. Firstly, being a Sorare content creator, of course, I do lots of giveaways for people that support the channel. So that's through my videos or through my private Discord. The link's in the description if you do want to join. And of course, my Twitter, I'd appreciate if you followed me there as well. Now, I don't really keep track of this because sometimes I just do random giveaways if I'm on a live and the value of when you bought it versus when you sold it. It's all very complex. So I would just estimate it's in the probably £1,000 region. So how that works is I'll top up £1,000, buy a card, and then give it away. So that's going to look like I've just wasted £1,000. So technically, you could probably add £1,000 onto that to start. Then you can consider the Sorare roadmap changes, where I've just had to make a huge overarching change to my Sorare gallery. All of my super rares were sold for probably 50% of their Sorare data value, maybe even a bit more. I've done plenty of trades, which will seem bad value. I'll get to them at the end of this video. Make sure you stay for that. So to have effectively cleared out old cards for brand new season cards, paid a premium for them, and to still be in a little bit of a profit, that is a very good scenario in my opinion, especially when you consider the polarizing effect this change had. Now, for a lot of people, they saw it as a dishonest move, a lot of trust. For me, I saw it as ripping the band-aid off of a bad system, making it sustainable for the rest of time, and that had some effects. In this past month, we've had the most users leave, 90 across the last, since December. And if we zoom out, it looks a little bit better, but keep in mind there are a lot more players playing then. So on a percentage basis, a lot of people have just left, which makes it even more positive for me. Then keep in mind, my gallery is almost entirely Champion Europe focused, where the season's winding down. We're coming to an end. So players that I bought like Xavi Simons in this sort of £800 region, they seriously fell in value as they have less games to play. So relatively what we've seen historically in the market, as we get closer to August and the restart, these prices start to tick up. So if I did want to sell out, I'd be selling in August or maybe just the month before. So that £3, with the other factors considered, actually make me very positive about my returns, because I would have expected to be down, substantially after the recap of how many users joined, and then we had these busts, and then we've had constant changes recently, which a lot of people haven't liked. So to be in a profit, that's fantastic. And that's without considering the non-financial factors. There's the entertainment factor of playing Sorare, always having, a footballer to watch or to rely on his score in fantasy football. And you've got the other side of Sorare, where you get signed shirts, you get scarves, you get match tickets. Now, being a creator, I probably get more of those match tickets, and generally because, you do work for them essentially. But there's plenty of people that play Sorare that don't make content and get to go to these games, so being top collectors, and that is absolutely key to Sorare. I think my profit and loss factor is actually very positive, even though over 3 years coming out essentially net level with, £9,000 deposited, someone in finance would look at you like you're an absolute moron. But I also think this is the start of a new beginning for Sorare. Now, this is just my opinion, but I've never been more bullish on Sorare because of that sustainability. The economics make more sense. It seems funner, and the cash prize on offer every week. I really think marketing-wise, that will just boost the number of users that want to play. We've got rivals for onboarding new users. I just think finally things are looking, like at the light at the end of the tunnel, where it'd been in this downward spiral. We've cleared out a few more users that weren't happy with this, band-aid, this big change in the latest roadmap. But for me, I'm uber positive, I'm uber bullish, and that doesn't mean all of my card prices are going to rocket when it comes to August. But I think if I can continue what I'm doing, if I continue, grinding out SO5 rewards and making good trades where I can and trying to beat the market and knowing the best about football, then it leaves me in a really positive position. And if you are watching this at home, please feel free to do this analysis yourself, because I'd love to hear how well everyone else is doing, for people that joined before the Gary Vee boom, people that joined during it or after it, because that, really pinnacle moments in Sorare, because not only does it tell you how the platform has done, it tells you how you've done as a user. One thing that I am quite proud of is keeping up a 15% win rate, even though moving up different divisions and everything that's happened on Sorare. I constantly put out teams which I don't think have a chance. So to have that 15% win rate, it seems really good, but at the same time, it's really hard to compare to other people. But profit and loss at the end of the day is probably the best way you can track it. And just to finish, I'll show you some of my recent trade offers, because you'll think I'm off my rocker, and I very well could be. This trade deal took me absolutely ages to work on. No one wants to trade cards, but I was really unhappy with what I found out about Robert Sanchez. He's essentially not going to be the starting spot for Chelsea. Now, he is probably going to leave at the end of this season and get a new team, but that uncertainty isn't always great. Like, yes, it's good, he'll probably go and be a starter somewhere else, but we don't know what league, and during that time period, I need a starting goalkeeper. I'm not looking for that capital appreciation. I'm looking for someone slot next to my Brighton stack and my Declan Rice, so I can win Premier League, cash rewards essentially in the new season competition. Now, Kelleher's a special edition, so I did pay a little bit more for that. The 332 isn't really realistic. It's probably £300 I paid for it. And at the time, his last sale was, I think it was £210. But because he had had 2 really good games in the Cup, which to me said he's not just going to be a bench player forever. I think at the end of the season, because he's played so well, he's probably going to be looking for a starting role in any Premier League team. Okay, maybe not any. He's probably not slotting in front of Edison or Onana, but definitely a lot of places in the Premier League he could go and be a starting goalkeeper and make a real impact. And that had an effect, because I got him for an average of 210 plus all of my trade value, about £300. But the next one went for 262. So that did make a bit of positive into what is essentially, you're losing money on a trade because people don't want to trade. But it made up for two critical mistakes I talked about in the last My Sorare Journey, where A, didn't have enough money to buy Kelleher, the backup for Alisson, after he got injured. And B, I bought Robert Sanchez. I kind of panic bought him. I asked a Chelsea fan, BTC and me, thanks to the helpmate, for advice on whether I should buy him. And I bought him before he'd even responded to me, and his response wasn't very positive. And then all you guys in the comments giving me more information and stuff about, yeah, Sanchez isn't getting that starting role back. But I tell you what is a kick in the teeth. Maybe I could have just listed him and waited 2 weeks, because one did sell for £241. So yeah, I do make too many trade deals. So when you look at my profit and loss, it'd be a lot better if I didn't go out to these traders like Powell Trader, Basel Bot, all the rest of them, because I get such a joy from doing it. But I still think they offer opportunities. Like Baselbot recently put up his premiums very high, like it's very hard to get a deal done with him. but he listed Trippier for a lot lower than the last sale. So I ended up paying value of about £220. And if we open up the graph, you can see that the last sale was 224 at the time. So even in my trade deal, I got him less than the last sale. The only thing which throws this off, he had 2 up for offer and someone bought one for 173. And I have the cash in the bank to buy that. I just thought it's actually better for me to get rid of a trade deal, get rid of an injured Porro, just to make better value. Now, I think normal people would have gone out and said, I'll just offer 173 and get that one for the same price as this one. Because they sold literally within seconds of each other. Because after I made my initial offer, it got cancelled because this guy went and bought it. So I trade dealed for the other one. But yeah, at the end of the day, he dropped down in value in the next auction. But I still think that's a good pickup for what is £220 worth of injured players, and Golaski was a risk, yeah, and all the rest of it just aren't fit in my gallery. So let me know what you think of this. So soon it'll be 3 years on Sorare, and hopefully I'm playing for a profit, and hopefully we can get a couple wins to boost up for the end of the season. Thank you for watching. All the best. Cheers.